Is it possible that a man who was born in Bethlehem, but is a Nazarite, spoke Aramaic and Hebrew, grew up to start a mission in the Middle East, and picked 12 disciples, and all of them have English names? John, Peter, Mark, Bartholomew?
Thank you, my brother. You see, until you start asking questions, you will never be free. Until you start thinking and start asking questions, you will never be free in anything you do in life. You will always work for people that are controlling you. You will always be working for those that are selling their own ideology to you. Except you start thinking yourself. Like he said, a man that spoke Aramaic and Hebrew. All his disciples' names were English names. Until you guys start thinking, not coming on my platform to defend what you call your religion. You understand? Do your religion, but start thinking. In everything you do in life, until you start thinking, forget about it.
Oh, hello. It's been quite a while that I did a video, so I just wanted to quickly address that video that you saw and those two people in that video. I think the one person is Quophi, Okyeame. It sounds like a Ghanaian name, and other Nigerian and British lady who is a recent convert, I think, to Islam, Chika Katy. So she talks a lot about thinking persons and all that, except people, it seems to me, just get in front of a camera, they don't do any research to create any content, and they just talk. Jesus chose disciples with English names. We can be dismissive about that kind of thoughtless content to begin with, because it's entirely thoughtless, both by the original creator as well as the person who is trying to share it. But let's step back for a moment. It's sad that the lady said she was in the church for decades. It looks like a woman who is in her 50s to me, and she never asked questions. But even if you didn't ask questions, you have cameras, and in these days of internet, you can do Google. There are Bibles and Bible commentaries and encyclopedias that are free online. This is the internet age. I think it was Brandeis who says sunlight is the best disinfectant. You can find information at your fingertips, especially for somebody who lives in the first world. Okay, let's start. I'm going to make this very brief. About 300 years before Christ, the Old Testament Bible was already translated to the Greek, because the Greeks, under Alexander the Great, had colonized the Middle East, including parts of North Africa, Tunisia, Egypt, present-day Libya, present-day Algeria. They were all under the Greek influence. So the Alexandrian script was already there. And that's why by the time Jesus was born, the Old Testament Bible, so to say, was already available. And so the New Testament was written in Greek. So all these names were already there written in the Greek, and it was in common usage. So the lingua franca at the time of Jesus in the Middle East was Greek language. That's the first thing. The second thing was the English as a language was not even available until about 500, 600 years after Christ. Mark that, 500, 600 years after Christ. So the first English Bible was not even written, was not ready until about 1382, 1383 AD. That is 1300 to 1400 years after the resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ. So when these Greek names, or these names that were written originally in the Greek New Testament, were transliterated, not translated, transliterated. Just like our friend who made the original video, his name is written Quophi, Quophi. I'm not familiar with Ghanaian names, but I've seen names, this name written as Koffi, Quophi, the same name. So it's not a translation, it's a transliteration. So if you go to your internet and put in New Testament interlinear Bible, you see the original Greek and the English translation written side by side, and you can find those names in their original Greek forms. And all they did was the names John, Bartholomew, Peter, and all those other names were just transliterated to English, which was not even existent at the time of Jesus Christ. So Jesus didn't call the names of his disciples by English. English was not existent at the time of Jesus. English as a language only came to be 600 years later. And to our sister Chika, Katy, you talk about thinking persons coming to your platform. I pray that you also do a bit of thinking yourself. Thank you.